It's not true, I wanna put up all my walls cause I'm not in the mood. But then I cut myself off from the rest of the room. I know that time can heal it all if you're patient and soon it can all
Alright,
be
what's
worth
up everyone?
it.
We're gonna dive into this. And right off the bat, I'm gonna tell you, I'm probably not gonna go the direction you're thinking about. I'm just not. There's a reason I'm not, and I'm gonna tell you why. Yeah, I'm not gonna be like every other guy on YouTube that gets on here and goes wild and crazy and is up in arms over this cheating deal. I'm not gonna be that guy. Y'all know me. Y'all know I keep it as real as I possibly can. And so I'm gonna tell you what I think about this whole deal and more or less the reaction out of it. The reaction has been very interesting. And here's why. First off, I didn't overreact to any of this. I wasn't even shocked. I wasn't remotely shocked. I wasn't up in arms. I wasn't believe, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening. I wasn't any of those things. I wasn't surprised. I had about zero feeling to any of it. And you're like, whoa, wait a minute. Todd, shouldn't you be this way? Nope. I'm used to it. It's been going on. This same thing happened years ago down here in Texas with Robbie Rose stuffing a weight in a bass's mouth. This has been going on. So I'm used to it. It's not a good thing, right? Right? That's not something I should be proud of, or that I should like that this is a good reaction. But for most of the guys that I talk to, no one was in shock. No one was surprised. They're like, yeah, another cheating incident. Like, we're all used to this. And that's the sad part. So I know some of y'all are the first time like this is like some big deal. It's not to us. And here's the problem why. Guys have been cheating forever. Right? Not very many guys, okay? I know a lot of people get on there and say, oh man, there's guys cheating in every turn. No, there's not. There's really not. There's the percentage is so small that cheat in that way. Now, that way is the easy way. That way is to like lay it on a silver platter and show you, oh, those guys are cheating, right? That's the one that like a person that knows nothing about fishing will go, yeah, he's a cheater. Those guys cheated in an event. I mean, that's what we all see. And it's an obvious cheat, right? But there's a lot of obvious cheats out there, but they're not considered as bad. That's why I'm making this video. Because I sat here and oh my gosh, I got messages from family members, from people I hadn't talked to in forever. Like they were showing me videos and I'm like, yeah, I've seen it. I saw it the first time it came out, and then I saw the other 4,000 videos on it. And I watched maybe half of it because it was like, yeah, I've seen this. I've already seen it. Not this video. I've just already seen this. It's gone down. It's gone down here in Texas a bunch. It goes down in small tournaments. Does it go down in big tournaments? Like the professional level? Well, not this exact cheating, but cheating. The difference is this, and I've said this multiple times. Those guys in that video, they'll never fish again. They'll never fish a tournament ever again. I don't know how long their licenses will be taken away from them. Probably a pretty long time. It's probably whatever their plea deal is or whatever. It might be a lifetime ban. I don't know. But they'll never fish tournaments again. And right now, the way things are going, I mean, they have made local news. They have made national news, I think. They made TMZ. They have made all kinds of stuff. The memes are going like crazy. They'll never be able to hardly show their face again. Like they will have to remove themselves from fishing. And the state. Like the guy that did it with us, he had to move. He had to move out of the state. It got that bad for him. Now, the reason that I'm bringing this up is that only one thing's bothered me about this whole thing. One thing. And this is the part that is very frustrating to me. Very, very frustrating. And over the years, when I was younger, I got to throw this in there, I thought I was normal. And here's what I mean by that. I thought I was normal in the way I thought about fishing, right? I thought most of the people I hung out with, we all talked the same. We all thought the same thing about fishing. We all thought the same thing about fishing tournaments. Like all of us. Like when I was younger, and I'm talking about, it didn't matter if I was with a younger guy or an older guy, like the little group growing up on Livingston and everywhere we went, we all thought the same. I thought the same thing. I got to college, and as I got older, and then this little thing came out on the internet called the Texas Fishing Forum. And man, when I got on that thing and realized I was in the minority on how I thought about fishing, I was blown away. I was blown away about the fact that, like, I didn't think you should just roll up on somebody while they're out there fishing deep and just pull up right next to them and start casting. I found out that I don't own the water, right? We don't own the water. You can do whatever you wanted to do on the water. Like, it became this whole, it was just crazy to me. Like all these things that the group that I had hung out with and grown up with, and it didn't matter what group that was, people changed. We all thought this way, but then this vast majority of people thought this other way. And I was going, what? Well, this is what I found out. So all these videos, and I tried to like skip through them, right? But someone had made a video, and I just happened to read the comments, and it was about this and about like cheating. And it was about them cheating, and then what's the difference between this? And man, I was like, yeah, I don't see the difference. And man, I was wrong. What he basically said was, well, cheating this way and breaking rules, right? So if there's a no info rule, right? Not to be on the water rule. It doesn't really matter what the rule is, but there are rules in place that you're not allowed to do this. And if you do it intentionally, on purpose, to gain an advantage, they don't think that's cheating. They're like, oh, that's not the same thing. And I'm like, well, why isn't it the same thing? That's the part I don't get. And the one of them was the info rule. They're like, the info rule from people blew me away the way they thought about that rule. It was easy. It was an easy rule for them to overlook. I should have gone back and read the comments. Oh, that's just doc talk. Oh, everyone does it. Of course, since everyone cheats, it should be okay, right? That way of thinking just blows my mind. Well, everyone's doing it, so it's okay. Not, hey, hold yourself responsible and not do it, but hey, everyone else is doing it, I'm going to go ahead and do it. Now, there's two parts to that. Yes, I believe that that rule is not held up very well. Doesn't mean you have to break it, right? But it's like, oh, this isn't the same thing. That's just doc talk. Oh, man, everyone gets info, and hey, I should be... all I'm getting is a little bit of information to help me. Listen, fishing is not like other sports. So I'm going to say this real slow, guys. Fishing is not like other sports. You could get all the information, and I don't play golf, but you could get all the information on how to hit a golf ball better, and you're never going to go beat those professional golfers. Ever. Ever. Basketball, football, tennis, baseball, bowling, darts, all these things. You are never going to go beat the professionals because of info you get. But fishing is not like that, right? Fishing is about knowledge. It's mainly about knowledge. I mean, that's what YouTube's all about, is giving out information to help you become a better fisherman. If it wasn't so important, right? If it's not that big of a deal, then how come everyone breaks the rule? How come everyone goes against the non-info rule if it's not that big of a deal, right? Everyone goes out there and tries to get info from everyone else constantly. People follow people. People do all these things to find spots. And then on the flip side say, oh yeah, but it's not that big of a deal. But yet you do everything in your power to find out where some guy caught some fish, but yet it's not a big deal. Explain that to me. It is a big deal. What, are we kidding ourselves? It's the only sport where if you had a hole and it was every cast, you could throw in there and catch big ones. And we have them all. We've had them in tournaments. Like, they exist, right? They don't exist all the time. But there's places where you throw a worm out there. It doesn't matter who throws that worm, right? There's spots that good that it doesn't matter who throws that worm. They're probably going to win the tournament. So now everyone in that tournament could possibly win if they knew about that hole. And you're telling me that's not important? It's everything. It's literally what we go out there and practice for hours at a time, is trying to maybe find something like that. And you're telling me, it's not the same thing, it's not important. If someone else gets it. Do you know how many tournaments have been won on info? It's amazing to me. And then they instantly go, well, it's not the same thing. So why is it not the same thing? Why do they think that? Because they'd rather get that info and not say anything to anyone when they're not supposed to? Is that what it is? Is that why they diminish what it really is? See, they're not willing to put weights down a fish's mouth, but they don't mind a little info when there's a no info rule. You'll never change my mind, and I don't mind being in the minority on this. That's fine. There's going to be guys on these comments that say all these things. You'll never change my mind. And most of the guys that I run with, you'll never change their minds, ever. And I think I run with some pretty good fishermen. I think the group, and it's a fairly big group of guys, if I went and asked this on the regional level, on the team tournament level, and on the national level, they'll all tell you the same thing. Info's huge. It's a giant big deal. And you can either follow it or not follow it. And it doesn't matter if it's not just that rule. I just bring that rule up because that's what was brought up in this video. And these guys just went after the guy. And I was like sitting here going, he's right. But obviously he just realized real quick. He just realized he's in the minority on that. And it sucks. And a lot of people don't want to make this video. I get it. Because the stuff that might come down. The people that are going to comment and do all this stuff and say, oh, it's not the same thing. You can think that. So what I'm getting at is this. It's easy to sit back and look at something that's so blatantly bad, right? Stuffing weights down, getting fish out of a basket, right? Doing things that help you win a tournament that are against the rules. That's cheating. Doing things against the rules to help you win a tournament is also cheating. You can't just sit here and go, well, these are cheating, and these are like, well, everyone kind of does these. These are little white lies. No, they're a lie. Big lie, white lie, still a lie, and illegal info. When I say illegal info that you are not allowed to receive during cutoff and stuff, is probably won thousands of more tournaments than someone cheating out of a basket or putting weights on a fish's throat. It's happening all the time. Problem is, it's very hard to enforce, and that's the problem. Since it's hard to enforce, it must not be that bad. I don't even know where to go more on this video. it's frustrating to me to see the guys that overlook that and think it's not a big deal. I'm going to say this once again. If a guy went out there and caught 35 pounds out of a spot, or 30 pounds or whatever, and blows the tournament away, maybe it was you. You don't want to tell anyone about that spot, right? Why? Because you know darn well someone can go win a tournament off that spot. Okay? So that information of knowing where that's at is more valuable than probably anything else out there. Anything. What bait, right? What color, like all the things that are important. If you had that one waypoint to make any kind of cast on that spot, you're probably going to win the next week. That's huge, giant, valuable information. Valuable. Chances are whoever goes and throws on that spot is going to win next week. And yet, getting that info now from a lot of people is like, when they just hear info, they're like, oh, that's just talk. That's no big deal. It's whatever. No, it's everything. It's why we try to limit that info, because I thought fishing was about us going out there and finding our own fish and doing all that stuff. That's a whole nother video I'm probably going to do next. About if these pros on the professional level, and I'm not just talking about pros or anyone else, but pros in the sense of professional level, regional level, whoever it is, got all of our little patches on our jerseys, and man, we're repping all these things, but yet we're so much better than everyone else, right? All of us that wear our little jersey, we're so much better than everyone else, right? And you can see that arrogance. You're like, we can't wait to tell everyone what to do. But then we got to go, we go to another lake and we got to ask somebody else, hey, how do you go catch fish? Hey, what's the deal? Hey, like, so what bait do I need to throw? Hey, give me some waypoints. Hey, if you're so good, why are you asking all these people this stuff? Why do you need all this information? That's a whole nother video. That's my next video. But for right now, let's just go back to thinking, hey man, all this information, all this other stuff, not really cheating. We're just gonna turn the other way and look around like, oh no one's seeing this. We're gonna see those guys putting weights in the fish's mouth and attack. When that's over with, like, hey man, so where'd you give me? Where's that spot you caught all them fish at? Oh, I know we're not supposed to get info right now, man. Lake's off limits, but go ahead. You can tell me. It's not that big of a deal. Everyone's doing it. I don't know. You'll never convince me that that's not the same thing. That's the way I look at it. I'll stand on that mountain by myself, I guess. I have no problem doing it.